everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, we got an announcement recently from WB Studios saying that there's potentially more Lord of the Rings films on the way. And the problem with this, of course, is the story's over. Like, Return of the King had the words, "the end," before the credits started off. The end. There's no story to tell. They don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. WB does not have the rights to the First Age. They couldn't even do that in Rings of Power. The Rings of Power has already proven that they can't even handle the Second Age. So I'm like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? This all goes back to, of course, I don't want to compare it, but it's the same exact thing as with Disney Wars. Doing all this in-between crap and no one wants. You know it's going to turn into a reboot. It's going to be made in the present day. It means half the cast is going to be probably female. No offense, but I really don't want that. Man, they already have that. What's that girl's name in Rings of Power? The girl, not Hobbit. Can't remember her name. Basically, female Frodo / female Bilbo. There's some original characters, but half of them are forgettable and poorly written. Some doesn't even matter. It's like the story's over. The ring's destroyed. Aragorn is king. Legolas and Gimli ran off to do whatever. Sam's living in the Shire with his family. Aaron in the Shire doing whatever. Gandalf went with Frodo to the Undying Lands, so he's not gonna Gandalf or anything. Power of the Elves is done. They're all gone. I'm like, what are they gonna do? Gollum's dead. Smaug, all of them. Frodo's gone. Tolkien only wrote two stories, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Second Age was pretty much left open-ended, but as much as I've tried to give Rings of Power benefit of the doubt, should never touch the Second Age. And this announcement, this kind of makes me concerned if we get turned to Disney like 2.0. At least with Harry Potter, we got Hogwarts Legacy, which is an awesome game. Fantastic Beasts didn't do that great amongst classic fans, and I understand why. I get it. But at the same time, at least it was something new. At least their original characters. This is why I like these Miller games. I think WB should focus more on that than making more films that no one really wants. The story's over. It's over. The end means that it's done. We're probably going to have like a whole bunch of endings, sure, but the story is done. There's nothing else to do. Nothing. Anything else, I mean, there's going to be like an animated movie or something, fine. Animation's fine. But as far as feature-length films, no. No. Whether Peter Jackson's involved or not, no. Will make a difference. You don't have any control. I'm not even blaming for the Hobbit downfall, because you can tell that was studio interference. Especially the way Smaug went down within like 10 minutes of the third film. Never should have happened in the first place. There should have been 2 films at the most. 2 at the most. Could have been 1. With the Hobbit, well, first off, the Hobbit it's a kid's book. It has poems and singing and all that stuff in there. It's not an action epic. And I'm not saying Jackson is the one that made those decisions, but you try to make that into an action adventure epic, and it's not. Again, this was the Middle Earth Games that took liberty with these two. Shout out more than shout out more. Even a character like this, like Altaria, original character, she's an elf, so she's going to be around for a while. But it has no direct links to the movies. There's no stupid Easter eggs like Disney does every 5 minutes. Mention a Buster or some other character that already exists that goes on and make an entire show about a prequel to a prequel. That type of crap, which I don't support. Let's be honest, people. Anyone listening, watching this, listening to this podcast, or watching live, it's going to be a reboot. They're just trying to cover it up right now as new movies. It's going to be a reboot because there's no story to tell. They don't have the rights to the first age. They can't do the Silmarillion. It's not even a story. It's a bunch of history. And there's nothing to tell. The Hobbit films used a lot of the appendices content from the Silmarillion and the Return of the King appendices. And then they re-released the movies in the 4-hour extended cuts, which includes more stuff from the books. Like, what else are they going to do? Which story are they going to tell? Because this is the problem that Rings of Power. Because it has way too many characters going on, running around at the same time. Galadriel is horribly written. Horribly written. There's no way you can look at that character and say he's the same character that Kate Blanchett played back in the day. It's not the same character. It's impossible. It's not always about looks. The characters don't line up. That's the bottom line. It doesn't line up. You can say, oh, they can do whatever they want. They can, but they're going to have to learn to live with the consequences of the choice. And it probably will, because no one wants this. No actual freaking fan would want this. I mean, people speak for themselves, but I'm like, I'm saying in general. And if you do, you should probably check yourself because I'm not really coping with stuff for this. I don't think he would even like the Lord of Rings movies, as good as they are. Because he saw his works in this specific way, he wrote specific stories, and I don't want to say Rings of Power has tarnished his works, but it's kind of left a bad taste. Like, I still like the concept of it, I just wish it was called something else. Because half of that show has nothing to do with Rings of Power. It doesn't even show up until the last episode. Kind of ridiculous. And then half of the characters have nothing to do with Rings of Power. Rings are given to 3 groups of people: elves, dwarves, and men. It was like what I would have done, and I've said this before. What I would have done, I would have adapted Talion in live action in the Miller games, and just give him a different story than the games. He was a ranger guarding Gondor from Mordor, like they did for thousands of years. Could easily make up a different story. Living with his family, doing whatever. Tons of material there alone. Now, they were doing that, and down. You want to make a story about Talion in live action? It was based on the Miller film, and down. If you're going to do a straight up reboot, yeah, no. Because the problem with this announcement is it lacks originality. Just saying that we're going to make North games, more Lord of the Rings movies. Like, why? You can't call it Lord of the Rings. Because it's not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is done. The Hobbit is done. Even Rings of Power barely makes any sense as it is. Barely. If at all. Like, it really doesn't. I'm just like, yeah, I like the concept. I like a couple characters, I guess. Aaron is probably my favorite. Make a spin-off about him, I'll watch it. Make a TV show based on Italian from Middle Earth games, I'll watch it. But Galadriel, little teenage, whatever, however old she is in this show, I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, there's some acting lessons and some better writing. That and maybe shoot Little Wing season back to back. So you know, make the year for the next season of the show. And it's like, it's kind of crazy to say, but like my favorite part of the show was that last shot of Sauron looking out at Mount Doom and then walking closer, which kind of mirrors Frodo and Sam at the end of Fellowship of the Ring. That was the best part of the show to me, besides all the Aaron scenes. Kind of sad, considering what was it, like 5 or 6 episodes, and about almost nothing happened. Nothing worth mentioning. I'm just like, this news is just.
There's too many of us.
Yeah, no, for the right reason. More Lord of the Rings film doesn't make any sense. Characters like this are original. And again, I've always been an advocate for smaller stories in these worlds, which is why I love Hogwarts Legacy, this is why I love Fantastic Beasts, this is why I love these Middle Earth games. Smaller stories, Jedi Fallen Order, upcoming Jedi Survivor. Even The Mandalorian is telling smaller stories in that galaxy. This is telling a smaller, condensed story in Middle Earth, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It's very specific. Very specifically not Lord of the Rings. Can't be. It's impossible. Is this going to turn into another one of those stupid, this is what was happening while Frodo was in Rivendell, or this is what was happening while immediately after Gollum found the ring, or some crap. Because 60 years pass, which is when The Hobbit takes place, by the way. But there's nothing else to tell. There's nothing else to tell. And you don't even need to be a big-time movie person to know that. Everything's just turning the freaking pages. Turn the King, after Sam closes the door to his house, I'm back, and then close the door to his house. Screen cuts to black, says, the end. The end. Means the story's done. It's not complicated. It's over. There is no more Lord of the Rings. It's over. It's done. Leave it alone. Jesus. This happens in every major IP now. So one saving grace with Harry Potter is that J.K. Rowling has all the rights. Thankfully. It's probably the reason we got Hogwarts Legacy. If she didn't have the rights, probably would have seen a stupid reboot of that by now. And that's when he was more stupid freaking Parliament nonsense. And I'm all for equality when it makes sense, but doing it for the sake of doing it is stupid. And that's the pattern that we see now, even with the Marvel film. It's hard not to notice. Because when you got, I'm using Scott Lang as an example. Spoilers for Ant-Man, not that anyone really cares. But when you got Scott Lang getting his ass beat, and then the Wasp shows up seconds later and beats the shit out of Kang, it's kind of dumb. So, it's like if Scott couldn't land a friggin' blow on the guy, how the hell is she doing it? It's stuff like that. Ray, whatever her last name is, pulling a mind trick out of her ass with no training and defeating a Dark Jedi essentially. Also besting Luke Skywalker somehow, again with no training. And then she beats the Emperor, even though he was defeated like 30 years ago. He returned with no explanation. We're gonna bring Sauron back too? No, Sauron never was defeated. He just moved on elsewhere or some crap. I mean, if it's written by Jar Jar Abrams, then that's what we'll get. But I don't think WB's that stupid to hire that moron, because he just does the same thing every time. Everything he gets, just a rehash. He did it with Star Trek, and did it with Star Wars. It takes mad skills to ruin two properties like that. It takes a lot of skill to do that. So now we did it though. Yeah, the story's over. It's like the end. It's pretty. It's a done deal. Like, I'm all down for more TV shows and more Middle-earth games. As a diehard gamer and Middle-earth fan, that totally work. I don't think any more live action material needs to happen. Rings of Power can go on as long as they want it to go on. But as far as movies, no. Tell smaller stories. Middle-earth is a vast world. You can tell multiple stories in different pockets of the world at the same time. So they're making a feature-length film. I'm not gonna say no one, but average person, die-hard Tolkien fans, no. Just stop. Just stop. It's making my head hurt. And just stop.
We're gonna roast the live.
Even in one of those games, they got original characters in there. Cast premiere and I think the Haradrim dude one. Even got a little mini story in one of the DLC packs. Desolation of Mordor. It's actually pretty good. He doesn't have a ring of power or anything, but it's an interesting side story. That's the kind of stuff I like. You don't need any more films. Aside from money, what story could they possibly tell? What story could they possibly tell? I just kind of at a loss for words. This is like the one thing I hope that never actually happens. They don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. They can't touch the first page. Rings of Power barely handle the second page. Because they jumped around so much right out of nowhere. How much time has passed between this and that.
What was that noise?
And what timeline we're in now. Could be already in the third age for all I know. There's no specific passage of time in that show. I'm not going to blame the writers on that, because it's pretty clear in the original films when stuff was taking place. It's not clear in Rings of Power. And when they make more films, it's going to be more clear, whether you're a diehard Tolkien fan or not. going to be confusing because, and you can't touch the first stage, which is what I would probably do if you want to separate it from the movies. But I would prefer this to be more televised content. Doesn't even have to be live action. Just more animated films or more games, please. I was hoping to have another sequel to the Middle Earth game by now. I think there's a Gollum game coming out or something, but I'll check it out, I guess. Something. But, something more along the lines of Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor would be more to my liking. I don't need more Lord of the Rings movies. And when they say Lord of the Rings, it's not Lord of the Rings. It can't be. It's impossible. Can't be. I'm not trying to talk trash about WB Studios or anything, but this is kind of dumb. To me, it just screams desperation that Hollywood really is out of ideas. I mean, they've been out of ideas for a while already, but yeah, that's all I've got for this one, people. No to more Middle-earth Lord of the Rings movies. Yes to more games. More Middle-earth Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor style games. More open world stories, more original characters. Smaller stories in Middle-earth, I'm down. An adaptation of Italian from the Middle-earth games, I'm down. Because long before he and Celebrimbor become bonded, he had a story that can be told. Whether it's on the big screen or television, doesn't matter to me. If they're doing that, okay, that's one thing. That could work. Because he's an original character that has no ties to the movies. And if they're straight up doing a reboot, which they probably are, part of the reason they're trying to get Peter Jackson, I don't know if he's going to be specifically involved or not. If he is, I'm giving some props for that, but I doubt it. It's unlikely. And that's all she wrote. That's all I've got for this one. This is not a good idea.